Mate, how you going? Excuse the voice, I'm still getting over stuff. Oi, like, look at all the drum stuff I got, eh? There's like heaps of it. They're old. I bet you're wondering, mate, what's the worst drum thing you've bought? What's that thing right there? This is a PDP Chad Smith signature snare drum. Mate, she's acrylic. Oh, isn't that fun? I love acrylic see-through drums. I am here to argue that this is the worst drum purchase I've ever made. Mate, let's start with the tension rods. You know, they're the thing that does the tightening of the drum head, stretches it over the shell, yeah? But watch this for a party trick. Watch how much shred comes out of this. It's still going. Look, can't pull it out yet. We got enough thread, mate. I just need it to be up there one day. Yeah, still going. Oh. Well, what's the big deal, mate? They're giving you free metal. Look, hey, they're giving you more than you need. Well, it doesn't work that way, because if you notice, that's where it actually threads in, right? It goes in really deep. In other words, this thing bottoms out. Like, I wasn't able to get this very tight because, yeah, it would bottom out in the thread and then that's it. Couldn't do anymore. I've never had this before. I mean, maybe if you've built your own drum and you didn't know this, but like, oh, PDP. Look at this. You see that? Look, it's like it's chipped. Like, they just drilled it dirty or something. You see, like, that one looks nice. And, like, some of these are all chipped up. That's a potential issue because acrylic likes cracking. Especially if you're beating the pants out of this and vibrating it a lot. I mean, just look at my poor Vista light. So, this is a PDP, right? That says, by DW. DW, monstrous brand, absolutely huge. Owned by Roland now, which is a real shame. But yeah, they've got their DW drums, which are their American-made ones. Well, until recently. Well, but yeah, it used to be DW drums would make their American drums, and then PDP was their, like, maybe I'm speaking a bit blunt here because of the illness and grumpiness of this snare drum. It's just, you know, it's the cheaper stuff. Cheap ain't lying. It's just not that nice feeling. And when I was playing with this earlier, literally all these bits of chrome rubbish came flying out of this drum. I mean, the best part of the drum is, like, it's got a proper DW throw-off on it. It, like, tightens and loosens the snares that make it sound as it does. This is good. Oh, but it gets so much worse. So I actually got this for my drum streams, and, you know, I was playing it, and it's fine, it works. But then, you know, it was time to change heads, and that's when it was fighting me. There was something wrong, other than the tension rods being too long, which is so dumb. And basically, I'll put this on the shelf just to worry about it later. I'm like, for some reason, I can't get it in tune, which is suspicious. I can get the Jimbals in tune, and I, you know, put it on the shelf. And literally, it's been like 2 years. I've done some cleaning up, and I found it again. And yeah, I kind of found why. Well, mate, we got the drum head off, and the shell looks really, really nice. Really nice bearing edge, and seamless as well. Like, it doesn't have a big part where they glued it together. Not like a, whoa, proper 1970s Vista light snare. That puppy right there. Check out how they used to do it. Mate, just glue it together big time. Instead of a sharp edge, it's just kind of like this rounded over thing. Yeah, nowhere near as precise as the modern drum. And unfortunately, it's all for nothing. Mate, I'm in the back storeroom where the cymbal bags roam free. I mean, this isn't the hardest, flattest table, but it's just gonna sell the issue here. Right, mate, look, I got them sitting on their bearing edges. One of the real important things about a drum that makes it sound good is that it's perfectly round and flat. Flat meaning that, you know, it doesn't wobble. Holy stink. That is so out of whack. And mate, here's the manky old 70s one, you know, where they just glued it up like that. And look, nada, nothing. Back over the Rock and Roll Central. Piece of junk. Baby, I got the Jinbao snare here. How good is it? I thought you were hard work. That's actually the worst I've seen. But that's really bad. That's real bad. Mate, it's why vintage drums sound good. They were built properly in the first place. So yeah, what an absolute stinking pile of rubbish. I couldn't use it in my streams because it was time to change the bottom snare head and I couldn't get one on there. And I was like, huh? Must be a bad drum head or something. So, you know, I put it on the shelf to troubleshoot later because I was blaming myself. No, this thing is completely out of cack. It's like that Jinbao snare. And then the fit and finish, like, look how rough that is. Look at the vintage Ludwig, mate. She's pristine. But here's the thing that really, really gets me going, right? I'm not mad at the Jimbao for stinking. That is basically a $10 drum. You need a zip tie on the strainer to make it work. This is a 500 Aussie dollar drum. 500 Aussie dollar drum. What a fascinating time us consumers are living through, where companies are just so stinking huge now. Like DW and PDP are bought up by Roland. So many companies are buying up each other that they are now so gigantic with so many employees, so many factories and facilities and overheads that I swear they're becoming uncompetitive. $500 on a single drum. That's like, this is my special drum, right? If you drop in a couple hunch extra, you can get this stinking Indie Kalamazoo snare. Look at it. Beautiful. It's a big slab of bronze, hand signed by the people who made it. Or you can have this farmed out garbage, which will never tune up properly. Never. People say, well, why don't I return it? It's like, well, I bought it years ago. I forget where. And, it's just too late now. It can stand here as an example of how to do things wrong. And hey, the final worst bit. Just look at this badge. Do you notice something? Yeah, it's crooked. Look where the corner meets against that lug. And look where it meets against this one. It's only subtle, but they've screwed it in very slightly crooked. And look at this. Look, they just nailed it home and scratched the badge while they're at it as well. That is gross. This is the worst drum thing I've ever bought.